Hi, how are you? In today's video, I'm going to be discussing science in our homeschool. Stay tuned. First, I just want to say you'll have to excuse that I have Marshmallow out to play because he is still in quarantine and he needed some interaction, even if not with other rats, with somebody. So he's running around on the couch with me, and you may see him in the background because he can go up there and over there. So, with all that said, let's get into what I do for science. So in traditional Charlotte Mason homeschooling, you do what's called nature journaling as your science. You'll also see certain curriculums like Ambleside online recommend reading things like the Burgess Animal Book or the Burgess Bird Book for various years. When I was planning on my school, I originally purchased this from Simply Charlotte Mason, which I liked because it just required me to have one other book, so I purchased that as well. And this cost me, I think this was like $15 and this was $3. As I went through it with the bird book though, I just felt like it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't enough for us. It was kind of boring. The lessons are kind of uninteresting for my child's age group, because literally all you're doing is reading about a bird in the Burgess Animal Book and the Burgess Bird Book, and then maybe drawing a picture. We did go ahead and do the bird feeders and things. We did go ahead and study up on what birds were in our area. We got a bird guide that shows you like all the birds that are native to your area and the ones that are likely to come to your feeder and that sort of thing. But I found that it was too slow. We needed to have birds that we could study right away, and birds take a little while to find a new bird feeder, and they did not like where we originally had it located. So after we moved it, it still took like 3 weeks for birds to show up, and I needed to do science in that time frame. So I was like, what am I going to do? I do not know how I found this particular item, but it's not talked about enough in the homeschooling community, and I felt like it needed to be shared. So I found, forgive my notebooks are all used from Goodwill, so there's like sticky residue on them. I found Nature Study Hacking, and this is written by Joy Cherick of naturestudyhacking.com, and she writes all of hers to go like a month or two after Ambleside's rotation for nature study. So trees was one they did, I think, last year, maybe the year before, I don't know. But I thought, you know what, let's start with that. It was on sale because she just finished it, I think. And it came in she also had a bundle pack of this plus the night sky. So I went ahead and got this one. And what I really love about this is she makes nature study like completely dummy proof. So this whole first section is all the instructions on what you need, how to do it, and it's so super simple. You basically just need something to draw or color with, so crayons, pencils, watercolors, whatever you want to do, and a sketchbook. And then she gives you all the information later. So she starts you out with a blank phenology, I think is how you say it, wheel that you can use. I didn't even use this because I am not super experienced and thought that was a little ambitious this year. And then each lesson is made to last like over the course of, I think, a week. She has some lessons where you do things. So like your first few lessons, you're picking a tree in your yard or somewhere nearby to study regularly, and you have to draw it. And then a few lessons later, you have to like look for its Latin name, write this in your book, different things like that. At some point you learn parts of a tree and you label that in your book. There has been lessons on leaf shapes. And in this case, what I love is if you don't have trees, everything you need is in this book. So really you could just pick a tree in the park and go look at it every now and then, or find a tree that you can watch through your window. You do not have to have it in your yard. It is fine. There's some lessons where she has you write a poem, and guess what? There are poems in this book where you can just flip through, pick a poem, and write it into your notebook. Super simple, very easy to use, and I loved that I could buy it as a PDF or a physical book because that meant I could buy it and use it right now, which was really important for me at this juncture. And then because we were not familiar with trees and this was a new concept for us, I checked out a bunch of books from my library, and one of the ones I borrowed and then wound up purchasing is this one. And I gotta tell you, this is like my favorite science-y thing ever this year. You can see we've used it quite a lot. It's got stuff on it. I didn't even take the thrift book stickers off yet. That's how much we've used it, because what I like about this is I feel like it pairs really well with the nature study hacking. Nature study hacking is what I do when I'm feeling tired and getting kisses on my fingers, you sweetie. When I'm feeling tired and don't really want to go outside, we do nature study hacking. Although there are things in it that you could go on nature walks to do, we just don't all the time. This one is more my, hey, we need to get out in nature and let's do something fun, because it has 30 activities and observations for the exploring of the world of trees and forests. And it has things for all seasons in it. It has winter, it has summer, it has spring. We started in the fall, so I did not know that there was a winter section because I started at the beginning of the book. And had I noticed, we would have done some of the winter things in it. But some of the activities in here that you may see, you may not chew on my cord, you little jerk. Naughty little baby. He's not really a jerk. He's just a baby, and they chew on things. So like this one, you are painting a tree with a sweet mixture to attract moths. That's kind of fun. We've had a couple that starting a forest log book. Hello, we have a nature study book. So we just skipped that and did something different. There's just all kinds of things, like it teaches you about, there's a whole section on the different tree families, leaves, and making leaf specimen cards. And then the sections in the book are broken up into chapters, and each of those chapters has little subcategories. This has made it really easy for me to break it up. Seriously, no, you may not chew on that. So for example, I would do just this section and then stop when I got to this one. And that's how I would break it up. And that was like the perfect little bite-sized nugget of information for my kids. My kids are 5 and 8, and the 5-year-old, he's included just because he doesn't like to be left out. He doesn't have to do schoolwork, but he doesn't want to be left out, obviously, because he's 5, and that's how they are. So this has been really helpful. There is one on birds, and I'm thinking about getting that and seeing if I use that with my other bird thing, if I would like it better. But I have slightly different plans for next year, and I don't know how I'm going to like them or not. However, because I got Nature Study Hacking as a bundle, I also have the night sky that we can use if it's not particularly weather friendly for going outside. So that's what we've been doing in our homeschool, and I just pick something and we do it every day. Some other things that I have thrown in, especially since we are kind of stuck with everything that's going on around us, is going out in the backyard and having the kids pick something to draw. We have also gone on a drive through one of the local cemeteries, which happens to have a pond, and I made the kids draw a bird that we saw at the pond. We actually saw a crane of some sort. So we then came home, we looked up what kind of bird it was, and then we drew it in our books. And the other thing we've done is just observing things from our car when we drive to get groceries or things. Because I am a stay-at-home mom. My kids come with me everywhere. That's life with us. And so I would notice, like, we happen to have some farmland near us, so we might draw the cows or the horses or things like that. We've done some things via the internet because a lot of the local zoos and even some of the faraway zoos have been doing things online. So we've done some of the stay-at-home, I don't even know what they call them, safaris, I guess, where they would talk about a different animal and then we would draw it or discuss it for nature study. So there's lots of ways that you can do nature study without having to feel like you know everything about nature. I love nature. I love all things naturey and sciencey, and I find them very interesting, but I don't know a lot about it. And so this has been really fun for me because now I can learn. So that's what we're up to. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave a thumbs down and tell me why in the comments below. Marshmallow says that you should give it a thumbs up. Also, please feel free to watch one of these other videos on my channel. Bye.